The new Home Secretary, Sajid Javid, is finally going to ban the terrorist organisation Hezbollah from the UK. Just a matter of days ago, there was an Al-Quds Day march in London. You probably saw the pictures online. This thing happens every year. It's an annual protest in favour of Palestine. And there's one thing you can count on, and that's the presence of extremists. They're there every single year. Left-wing extremists, Islamic extremists, you name it. The first day actually happened in 1979. It was initiated by Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran. And in this year's march, one of the speakers at the event was Stephen Sizer. He's an Anglican church cleric, and in 2015 he posted that Israel did 9/11. That's interesting. There's a picture and in fact a video here of his speech. Let's take a quick look at that.
Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the colour of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. Dr. Martin Luther King preached that message in August 1963 in Washington.
The Zionist Federation, who published this, made a good point. They said, Stephen Sizer, quoting Martin Luther King Jr. at Al-Quds Day, ignoring King's criticism of anti-Semitism. Not sure he would want to be cited by someone who shared anti-Jewish conspiracy theories. Good point. What's happening to the Anglican Church in England? When people like this are standing up and spouting anti-Semitic nonsense and supporting terrorist organisations, it's insanity. And like every year, as I say, Hezbollah was there, or at least their flags were being waved. The Times of Israel have reported, and the Jerusalem Post have reported lots of pictures of the Hezbollah flag being flown amongst loads of Palestine supporting demonstrators. It's just totally shameless, isn't it? Totally shameless. The fact that people can wander down the street in the UK waving a terrorist flag with no repercussions at all. Now, if you don't know, Hezbollah is an Islamist political party, and it means Party of Allah. And it's from the Lebanon. It actually has a paramilitary wing as well called the Jihad Council. And it's called a terrorist organisation, not just by the United States, but by the Arab League, Canada, and Israel. So it's fairly common for people to accept that this is a terrorist organisation. And its own Secretary General of the party is Hassan Nasrallah, and he's a Holocaust denier, flat-out Holocaust denier, and an Islamist who's called for a global caliphate. Now, this isn't moderate defence of Palestine. I don't know what a moderate defence of Palestine is, but I'm sure there are people that would claim to be moderate. This is quite extreme. This is quite serious stuff, and we know that Hezbollah is basically just a proxy for Iran, just like Hamas is in Gaza. It's practically taken over the Lebanon now as well, which used to be about 50% Christian. Amazing transformation. And Hezbollah, I might add, is responsible for multiple terror attacks, including the 1992 Israeli embassy attack in Buenos Aires, which was performed technically by the Islamic Jihad organization, which is connected to Hezbollah. It has many different front organizations and associated groups, but you can count on the fact that Hezbollah was involved in this 1992 attack and multiple other terror attacks from all over the world. But now, finally, the government's doing something about it. Sajid Javid is actually banning Hezbollah. Why did this take so long? It's funny, Sajid Javid, I'm not a massive fan, but I did say when it was announced that he was becoming Home Secretary that he probably would be better than Amber Rudd. And I don't mean that because I think he's good. I mean that because I think Amber Rudd was terrible. She was awful. And now we've got a guy who's, he says he's not a Muslim, but he is a Muslim. He's from a Muslim family, put it this way, he's now Home Secretary and already doing better than Amber Rudd. Amazing. But why did this take so long? You know, Home Secretary Sajid Javid, so he said he's preparing to prescribe Hezbollah in full later this year. The Jewish Chronicles reported on this and said, Sajid Javid will take steps to prescribe anti-Israel Islamists Hezbollah later this year, an act where his predecessor failed to, a senior conservative source has said. The JC understands Mr. Javid vowed to take decisive action over the Iranian-backed organisation ahead of last week's Al-Quds Day march in London, where Hezbollah flags were once again flown. Hezbollah's military wing was banned as a terror group in Britain in 2008, but a legal loophole allows supporters to fly the flags at events such as Sunday's rally because Hezbollah's political arm is not banned. The Home Office has the power to ban the political wing and thereby prescribe the group in its entirety. So finally, Hezbollah in its entirety currently will be prescribed from the UK. Hezbollah is a terrorist organisation which is connected to terror attacks that have happened all over the world and performed by multiple associated organisations and front groups. Hezbollah is a terrorist group that should have been prescribed a long time ago, so I'm welcoming this move by Sajid Javid. And as Sajid Javid is showing that obviously he wants to tackle real Islamist violence, then I'm sure he's going to be doing much more about the 23,000 jihadis, or potential jihadis, that are currently on our streets. I trust that he's going to be throwing them in prison and putting them on planes to go back home, right? I trust that Sajid Javid is going to do more about radical mosques in this country that keep inviting hate speakers and hate preachers who've encouraged people to go out and kill the Jews and to kill homosexuals. I trust that Sajid Javid is going to be doing something about that, right? And I trust as well that surely Sajid Javid is going to do something about halal certification now that we know that it funds terror groups all over the world, right? Sajid Javid, go on, prove your commitment to Islamic violence, prove your commitment to keeping us safe. Do more about it. If you like that and want to see more, remember to like and subscribe.